And now, Knock 2 Studios presents Common Censored.
It's official. What we've always all known is that Google's a monopoly and that they're abusing their power and abusing their control over all of us and exploiting us as we try to search for information. They have finally faced a staggering court defeat, which doesn't happen to Google very often because a lot of powerful people own Google stock or get a lot of money from Google lobbyists. But the judge has ruled that Google is a monopoly and has acted like a monopoly to maintain its monopoly power. You can celebrate this news by taking a break from Google's control over your life, knitting together a profile about you to target you, and make FreeSpoke your default search engine. At FreeSpoke, you're always going to get both sides of every story with privacy.
Boom, bigots! What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Common Censored. Thanks for being here. Make sure to join us Monday through Friday as we cover all the crazy clown world clusterfuck chaos, and it's a big one today. Oh man, maybe the biggest broadcast we've had up to this point, with just craziness breaking out everywhere. This is episode 209, imminent market collapse, war, famine, UK descends into civil war. Judge has ruled Google has an illegal monopoly over searches and advertising. Holy balls. Share, share, share. Make sure you spread the word. Post a link to the show everywhere as we get started. Use hashtag CommonCensored when you share the show. Hashtag InfoInfantry as well. Follow us on X at Lord Sterling _ FreeSpoke. Nice, JJR. I haven't actually heard of that before, but sounds like it could be good. Screw Google, right? Don't be evil. I got a meme coming up with Darth Vader as Google. I've altered the search results. Pray I do not alter them any further. I guess I spoiled the surprise there. Oh well. Links to all of the content, articles, video we discussed today will be down in the description following the show. I forgot to post them in the show notes or in the description on Friday, so sorry about that. I added them now. Mama Mac will also be adding timestamps as we go, so that you guys, if you're watching this later on and you're pressed for time and you need to maximize the efficiency of your focus and energy, you'll be able to jump right into the show at the topics that interest you. Make sure to check out alplama.com and throw some love Mama Mac's way. Avoid the petrochemical pharmaceutical industry that wants you sick and dependent. And check out alplama.com's natural remedies, herbal extracts to help you deal with any of the problems you may be suffering from. Damn it, I ended a sentence in a preposition. Starting off on a good foot, Lord Tardy. Oh, man. They also have delicious herbal teas as well. Tranquility, Serenity, Spring Floral Tea. Boom! Mama Mac and Fam have you covered over there. Thanks for supporting Mama Mac and Fam. And if you want to support the show directly, you can hop over to our Linktree, but I think we're going to have to cut ties with Linktree because I got an email saying that, oh, we've banned the link to your Rumble website from your Linktree because, it's still here, amazingly. If I refresh, will it still be? Because you're pushing misinformation. So I don't know. It's still up and running right now, apparently. But Linktree apparently is part of the controlled establishment. So we're gonna have to find an alternate website. Maybe we'll start doing all my links like all the OnlyFans girls or something. Relegated to OnlyFans. We're gonna have to be broadcasting exclusively on OnlyFans after they shut down all of the rest of our outlets. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Disclaimer. Views expressed on Common Censored are only opinions. Assume everything we say is false and research for yourself. We're not giving medical, legal, or financial advice. The only advice we are giving is think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself. Question authority. Yeah, that's right, Mama Mac. Only Sterling will make a new competitor website. Oh man, so brutal. Yeah, think for yourself. Smash that like button if you guys want to rank up in the infantry. Then share the broadcast around the web. Send us screenshots. Let us know how many times you've shared, and we'll tally them up and issue ranks. People that share the broadcast will enter as enlisted Info Warriors. Maritime 1995. What's up, dude? Good to see you. Hope you had a good weekend. Anybody that Rumble rants or tips via Cash App, Venmo, Google Pay, etc., will automatically enter the Info Infantry at the level of warrant officer. And people who hit that big, beautiful join button on Rumble or subscribe monthly via Subscribe Star and Locals will enter the Info Infantry at the level of a commissioned officer. Booyah! Thank you guys for all of your support. I'm making leaderboards and stuff to show all of your ranks and everything. So thank you for being part of the show and supporting this broadcast. Let's jump into the news. Oh man! Before we get into the real crazy stuff, let's start off with some also really crazy stuff that's just not quite as crazy as all of the rest of it. We have this video of Kamala heels up Kamala Harris over here saying the craziest stuff you could possibly imagine. This is from Maze at Maze Moore on X. Kamala, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. These people, man, they're so disconnected. Look,
we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. We have to stay.
Man. No, we don't like woke. We don't like woke, Kamala. Go away, please. Holy hell. In other news, Trump has agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala on September 4th. It'll be hosted allegedly by Brett Baier and Martha MacCallum, and the rules will be similar to the rules of his debate with Biden, but this time there will be a packed live audience. How about screw Fox, screw CNN, screw all these mainstream outlets? Do like some type of alternate media. How about that? Go anywhere else, any place in the alt media. That would be great. AF Girly, good to see you in the chat. Thanks for being here and joining us. So Trump released this statement. I have agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala Harris on Wednesday, September 4th. The debate was previously scheduled against creepy Sleepy Joe on ABC, but has been terminated and that Biden will no longer be a participant. And I'm in litigation against ABC Network and George Slopadopoulos, as he said. That's not me paraphrasing. He actually said Slopadopoulos. That's hilarious. Thereby creating a conflict of interest. The Fox News debate will be held in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania at a site in an area to be determined. Moderators of the debate will be Brett Baier and Martha MacCallum. And rules will be similar to the rules of my debate with Sleepy Joe, who has been treated horribly by his party, but with a full arena audience. Oh, man. Apparently, Kamala's not too excited about that, as she may have pushed back. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but Trump responded to Kamala being too afraid to debate on September 4th, saying that's because she's really dumb. Really, really dumb. This is from Jim Hoft, Gateway Pundit. In yet another fiery statement, former President Donald Trump didn't hold back as he slammed creepy Kamala for bailing out on a debate, cackling Kamala. On September 4th, Gateway Pundit reported earlier that Kamala's campaign has outright refused to participate in a highly anticipated debate against former President Donald Trump, scheduled for September 4th on Fox. Instead, they're insisting on limiting the debate to far-left media outlets, revealing their desperate attempt to control the narrative and shield Harris from tough questions. We already had your far-left CNN debate. It's our turn to pick the rules. How about that? Like, these people, man. Trump took to Truth Social to clarify his position and announce the details, which we just read. Harris's campaign has resorted to a defensive posture. Michael Tyler, the communications director for her campaign, accused Trump of being, quote, scared, unquote, and attempting to back out of the debate he initially agreed to on September 10th, claiming, quote, Donald Trump is running scared and trying to back out of the debate he already agreed to and running straight to Fox to bail him out. Fox, who prematurely called states in 2020 and sabotaged the Trump campaign. Yeah, I don't think he's counting on Fox bailing him out. He needs to stop playing games and show up to the debate he already committed to on September 10th. Tyler told NBC, quote, "The vice president will be there one way or the other to take the opportunity to speak to a primetime national audience. We're happy to discuss further debates after the one both campaigns have already agreed to. Mr. Anytime, Anywhere, Anyplace should have no problem with that unless he's too scared to show up on the 10th. Trump already explained that he's in litigation against ABC Network and George Slopanopoulos, thereby creating a conflict of interest. So it's not him being scared. It's him knowing the fix is in. Also, Trump agreed to a September 10th debate with Biden, with Biden specifically, not with Kamala, with Biden, who was forcibly removed from the ticket by the party oligarchs. So ALX responding to President Trump accepting the September 10th debate. Donald Trump was pretty specific in accepting ABC's debate invitation. He agreed to debate Joe. Joe backed out when he quit the race. Therefore, unless Joe plans on showing up on September 10th, there is no agreement. Like, you changed the terms of the deal by switching the candidate. Now he's changing the terms of the deal by saying, no, different debate. Makes perfect sense to me. Therefore, unless Joe plans on showing up on September 10th, there is no agreement. Trump has proposed a new date. Kamala Kumala denied and declined it. In response, Trump took to Truth Social again, saying, Kamala Harris doesn't have the mental capacity to do a real debate against me, scheduled for September 4th in Pennsylvania. She's afraid to do it because there's no way she can justify her corrupt and open borders, the environmental destruction of our country, the Afghan embarrassment, runaway inflation, terrible economy, high interest rates and taxes, and her years-long fight to stop the words Merry Christmas. I'll see her on the September 4th, or I won't see her at all. She's acknowledged to be the worst vice president in history, which works very nicely against the worst president, Crooked Joe. The combination of these two low IQ individuals have destroyed our country, but we will make America great again. A separate post featuring a video of Harris struggling with coherent speech. Trump added, does anyone notice that Kamala Harris doesn't do interviews? That's because she's really dumb. She can't speak properly without a teleprompter. She has an extremely low IQ, and our country does not need someone who can't put two sentences together. We just got finished with that. His name is Sleepy Joe Biden. Unbelievable. Trump posted the video where both Biden and Harris were present to greet the Gershkovich, Whelan, and Kermasheva at Joint Base Andrews outside Washington late Thursday night. Then things got awkward for Harris when she started babbling to reporters shortly after meeting freed prisoners. Harris spoke to Americans off script for the first time as the Democrats' presumptive nominee and used the opportunity to praise Biden for his, quote, diplomatic skills. Wow. Or at least tried to before quickly screwing up her words. Let's take a look at her message.
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
Understands the strength and recognizing the strength. What was that?
Understanding the significance of rest in understanding the significance of diplomacy. Understands the strength that rests in understanding the strength, the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
Oh my God, we're in so much trouble, guys. We're in so much trouble! Food, water, ammo. Right, Ed? Right, Ed? Yeah, that's right, Ed. Stay woke, everybody. Stay woke. In other news, we have a disturbing story featuring Judge Chutkan, who has issued a highly unusual Saturday order over the weekend, setting August 16th hearing in Jack Smith's D.C. case against Trump. Jack Smith's January 6th case against President Trump is now back with Judge Tanya Chutkan, the descendant of communist Cubans. Following the Supreme Court's presidential immunity ruling, Supreme Court last month ruled 6-3 that Trump has absolute immunity for his core constitutional powers. Former presidents are entitled to at least a presumption of immunity for their official acts. According to the Supreme Court, the case was sent back to the D.C. Appellate Court after the Supreme Court issued a ruling on presidential immunity. Judge Tanya Chutkan issued a highly unusual Saturday order, and set a hearing for August 16th. Mike Davis posted, D.C. Obama Judge Tanya Chutkan, after getting reversed by the Supreme Court in one of its most monumental decisions ever, issues a highly unusual Saturday morning order. Chutkan really wants Trump in her courtroom instead of the campaign trail this fall. Marxist justice. That's right, Marxist justice. So there's going to be a new hearing in the federal election interference case, August 16th, 10 a.m. That's a Friday, I believe. Trump is not required to attend. This will be the first time in 7 months the parties will appear in Judge Tanya Chutkan's courtroom. Chutkan also denied Trump's motion to dismiss the case on statutory grounds. She says they may refile the motion once issues of presidential immunity are resolved. The case has been stayed as Trump's legal team appealed presidential immunity all the way to the Supreme Court. So now she's bringing it back. Tony Saruga also issued a post earlier saying, this is Tony Saruga, at Tony Saruga on X. SCOTUS once again leaked a decision last week that President Trump's September sentencing would not be delayed. With that information, the Democrats went into immediate action to jail Trump. The New York City Department of Correction is making arrangements for Donald J. Trump's arrival at Rikers Island in September with, quote, special accommodations. Tony says, my sources in Mayor Adams' office at NYC Mayor Care to comment on the New York City Department of Corrections preparing Rikers Island for President Trump. I also have info that Judge Juan Merchan will likely sentence Trump to 1 year at Rikers Island. Of course, that is subject to change until the very last second, judge's discretion and all. If Congress doesn't step in and not just write letters and investigate, but take action, act like they're the Democrats, on this Marxist judge with most conflicts of interests I've ever seen in 40 years. In addition to this, his daughter earning tens of millions, her clients include at least half a dozen of the most rabid never-Trumpers, same ones appearing on TV slamming Trump and giving commentary on Trump's court cases. It's insane. He reposting his prior post. Multiple high-level sources have stated the New York City Department of Corrections is making arrangements for Donald J. Trump's arrival at Rikers Island in September. Holy balls. He says this is 100% fact. They're preparing special accommodations simply described as a, quote, room. This is not acceptable. When are the people going to wake up? The enemy has been identified. Now what is America prepared to do about it? The shadow government, unconstitutional power of government secrecy, i.e. CIA, CFR, MSM, FISA, NSA, Silicon Valley, JSOC, DNI, the Five Eyes, 17 intelligence agencies, GCHQ, MI6, DHS, DOS, NRO, NCTC, NGA, DOD, FBI, and the deep state, the system behind the government, unelected bureaucrats with zero accountability, i.e. the Federal Reserve, a private company that's not in the government, the Treasury, Wall Street, foreign lobbyists, military-industrial complex lobbyists, the actual military-industrial complex, and congressional complex itself, defense contractors, intelligence contractors, World Bank, IMF, they're all working together to sabotage the new potential Trump presidency. We also have Jamie Raskin on video over here revealing the Democrats have a contingency plan in the event of a Trump victory in November. They will invoke Section 3 of the 14th Amendment to prevent Trump from taking office. He predicts it will result in a civil war. And so they're basically now saying, yeah, we're going to make sure there's a civil war. So let's take a look at Jamie Ratskin over here, this lunatic loser. Make sure there's volume for you guys. Check this out.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody and Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
This guy is such a lying piece of shit. The 14th Amendment over here, Section 3, is the whole insurrection thing. Let's see. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elector of the president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who, previously having taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may vote by a 2/3 vote of each house to remove such disability. Well, insurrection is actually a crime with a criminal statute, rebellion or insurrection, in Title 18, I believe. And so unless somebody's been convicted of rebellion and insurrection, the criminal code, there is no rebellion or insurrection. So this is not applicable. Jamie Raskin is a lying piece of trash who knows exactly what he's doing. It's completely insane. Let's hop over to Alex Jones, who's talking about this. Breaking video. Congressman Raskin publicly announces plan to overthrow Supreme Court and trigger civil war. Let's listen to what Jones and co. have to say about this.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025.
They're
to
openly
tell
planning
the
a January 6th
Trump mobs
insurrection
that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody and Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff. And
Other networks lie to you about what's happening now.
Insanely
InfoWars
frustrating.
tells you the truth about what's happening next. Visit Infowars.com/show and share the link today.
Why do they hate Trump so much? Because as much as I get irritated by Trump, the other side is 10 times worse. And look, I'm not perfect either, but Jamie Raskin says Congress will stop Trump on J6 using the 14th Amendment and create civil war conditions if he's reelected. These uniparty snakes are the greatest threat to our country that has ever existed, D.C. Drano says, and they won't give up power without a fight. Here he is.
What can be put into the Constitution can
We
slip
watched this already. Let's skip ahead. Get some analysis.
I could have. He just said this on C-SPAN yesterday. I just learned about this 20 minutes ago. I could have done the whole show on this. They're telling you they're going to create civil war conditions and not let him be seated as the president. Everything they accused him of, they're now doing, showing their total desperation. This guy's father was a famous communist in the Soviet Union. He is admitting their plan. This is treason.
Right, they're now openly announcing they're going to be launching their own January 6th insurrection based on allegations of an insurrection that never even took place. The hypocrisy is off the charts, kind of like Lockheed Martin's stock today.
Nick, out in the open, what do you say to this?
It is treason. It's a totally reckless and dangerous thing to say. And if there's any hint of truth to this, this is like it's a grave national security concern. And I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that it could lead to a constitutional crisis. And a lot of people were wondering what happens if Trump wins, given what happened with January 6th and everything. The Democrats trying to lock him up and the Democrats trying to really get him on insurrection, although I don't think they could make those charges stick. And so the question is, well, what happens if he wins? Does he become the president? I don't think it's crazy to say that the Democrats would try something like this, where they try to create a constitutional crisis. And in the event that happened, it's a color revolution. I mean, it's a full-on, obviously the Stop the Steal campaign, January 6th, was not a coup attempt. We wanted to audit the election. We wanted to
and he
send
just
a
said
different slate of
civil war
electors.
conditions. He said, we're going to war with you.
Right, which is vastly different than what happened then. They're basically saying
Right. Trump said, oh, there'll be an economic bloodbath. He didn't say economic, but he was talking about the markets and mentioned a bloodbath. And you can look right in the definition of bloodbath that often refers to economic situations. And they're trying to claim, oh, Trump's planning civil war. Well, here they are openly talking about civil war conditions as they falsely accuse somebody of insurrection who was never convicted of the criminal statute and using it to start civil war. This is insane.
We're going to bring the fight to the people. We're going to swap out the president, and then we're going to suppress and quell anybody that has a problem with it. So I think it's a very dangerous thing to say. And, you know, these people, I think it's the same reason why they wanted to kill Trump. I think that Trump represents to them an existential threat to a certain faction of the American elite. And it's like we talked about on the previous part, there are different parts of the elite. There's clearly a left-wing one. There's elements that support the right wing.
And this is a declaration of war, Nick. This is a declaration of war.
It is, yeah. This is this Cold War going hot. It's been a Cold War, and it's like we said, you know, they've tried everything against Trump: lawfare, investigation, slander. They took a shot, and then ultimately, it's going to be, well, we're just outright doing a civil war. You know, that's the last stage.
He just said we're planning a civil war.
Just like the war games that they did leading up to the 2020 election, where they predicted that California, Washington, Oregon, states out there in the West would break off and secede, and a civil war would start. And people like John Podesta were openly pushing this. Like, these people are the actual insurrectionists, the lunatics. Natron, I see you out there, brother. Boom! Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. I hope you had a good weekend. I see who else is out there. Donna, Crazy B, Threeper, Mama Mac, JJR, SVL, Ed Hoskins. What's going on, guys? Thanks so much for being here. Carson from Zax. What's up, Carson? Dump, TCCT. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining us today. Ma'am, I should say. Sorry about that. AF Girly Maritime 1995. Love you guys. Thanks so much for supporting the show. Let's continue.
If he gets reelected, if you or I said this, which we wouldn't, we'd be arrested. He's literally, and he's in government. He means it.
Yeah. Could you imagine if Matt Gaetz said that? Could you imagine if you or I, or even Trump, God forbid? I think the head of the Heritage Foundation said, oh, there's going to be a revolution. And they nearly drove him out of town. A sitting congressman says we're going to do a civil war. Nobody cares. But that's the double standard that they have with law enforcement. But, I don't know. I mean, the 14th Amendment.
Mara Z, I see you out there too. Good to see you, Mara. Thanks for being here.
I don't think that would hold him back. I don't think that would stop the Democrats from trying, though.
Oh, the point is they think they're going to steal
proposition.
Yeah, they're saying they're going to try to steal Congress this election. And then, wow. Nick, thank you so much. People should follow you on X. Nick J. Fuentes, thank you so much. Amazing interview.
Thanks for having me. Good to be with you.
Let me say bye to you during the break.
Boom. Crazy, crazy stuff. So I've been talking about how Trump should just hide in the basement and let us handle it for him. Jeremy from The Quartering had an even better idea. At The Quartering on X, he says, I'm telling Donald J. Trump Jr. How am I not following Donald J. Trump Jr.? Oh, because my regular account got banned. Censored. They censored, censored. At Trump War Room, anyone with contact, Donald Trump should just take a week, chill at Mar-a-Lago, golf, and fly in a steady stream of streamers to do 30-minute interviews. It's a huge force multiplier. That's what we're all about, force multiplication. Low effort, low cost, massive reach. Do like 50. Fly in 50 streamers. Bring in Jack Posobiec. Bring in The Quartering. Bring in everybody. And just sit there for a week and do interview after interview. Get your word across the internet. It'll have way more effect than doing a couple rallies here and there over the course of a week. Basshole 1, good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, just chill at Mar-a-Lago, bring in the army of streamers, and get your word out on all of their channels. Be a man of the people. Mingle with the people, with the lowborns like us, the commoners, the censored commoners. And I think this would be a massively good idea. He says he's not just talking about political streamers, he's talking about normies, people with huge platforms. He wouldn't gain much from going on Tim Pool, etc. Yeah, go places you haven't been before. Reach people you haven't reached. get the word out there in alt media, alt tech, with alt news platforms. I think it's a really good idea from the quartering. Just chill at Mar-a-Lago and do interviews, stay safe, bring in people, and do a bunch of interviews. How about this? Got a video of another one of my future wives that I saw over the weekend, and this chick breaks it down in the most rapid, poignant way I've seen so far, pretty much from anybody. This chick is an instant-based legend. Check out this info goddess dropping bombs on the Dems.
Americans have officially had enough.
Someone please just give me a valid reason as to why they're voting for Kamala Harris. So far, the only two that I've heard is because she's a woman and she's black. And from the exact same people that can't define what a woman is and who say not to judge people based off the color of their skin. Okay, thought we learned.
So far, I've only heard because she's a woman and because she's black, coming from the same people who can't define what a woman is and saying you shouldn't judge people based on the color of their skin. I quit. I quit. She should be doing this show. Nobody that I've ever heard has pointed out the hypocrisy in such a rapid, succinct fashion. Look at her. She's got the "We the People." She's got the "Don't Tread on Me." This chick is amazing.
Learned our lesson with Obama, but apparently not. Actually terrifying that
I'll
this woman is
a
and who say not to judge people based off the color of their skin. Okay, thought we learned our lesson with Obama, but apparently not. Actually terrifying that this is the type of woman that people want as the president of the United States. Really want a woman that's known for using her mouth to get to the positions that she's in. And I don't mean public speeches. But then again, based off the morals of the women of the left, not surprising. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against having a woman president, but I'm not going to vote for someone just because they've got a cooch. Especially one that is pro-defund the police and open border. Those are the same ones that say that Trump is trying to take down the democracy and you don't even realize what's happening in front of your own eyes. You now have a candidate that you did not vote for. This has never happened before. All you are is a puppet in their game. I thank you for your service of being a little social justice warrior for the past 4 years, but we don't want that anymore. You want a woman president so bad, sure that it's not one that's going to be a complete embarrassment to our country. When push comes to shove, it's not going to matter what's in her pants or the color of her skin.
Boom. Boom. Somebody give this woman a medal. That is one of the best little monologues I've heard to date from anybody. So props to her. I wish Benny told us who she was so that we could give her proper props and pump her channel. Man, she definitely needs some support. Let's propel her to the forefront of the info war. Let me know if you guys find out who she is so we could promote her. Because she needs to, her perspective needs to get out bigly. Let's jump over to some of the huge news going on today. Well, we're going to start with the whole Google situation. Cernovich posted this at Cernovich. Criminal prosecutions of the Sherman Act must follow. The Sherman Antitrust Act. Trump needs to make this the highest priority. Reposting Sean Davis at Sean MDAV. Breaking. After a lengthy antitrust trial, a federal judge has ruled that Google has an illegal monopoly in both search and advertising. There's a link here to the full document, I think. Here's one of the excerpts. Conclusion. For the foregoing reasons, the court concludes that Google has violated Section 2 of the Sherman Act by maintaining its monopoly in two product markets in the United States, general search services and general text advertising, through its exclusive distribution agreements. The court thus holds that Google is liable as to counts 1 and 3 of the U.S. plaintiff's amended complaint. To the extent that counts 1 and 3 of the plaintiff states' complaint are coextensive with the U.S. plaintiff's counts 1 and 2, the court finds Google liable. Man, this is huge. Hopefully, we get massive repercussions. Google needs to be obliterated, and broken up into a bazillion pieces. A federal judge ruled Google violated U.S. antitrust law by maintaining a monopoly in the search and advertising markets. Quote, after having carefully considered and weighed the witness testimony and evidence, the court reaches the following conclusion. Google is a monopolist, and it has acted as one to maintain its monopoly. The court's ruling, which you can read in full at the bottom of this story, reads that, it has violated Section 2 of the Sherman Act. Judge Amit Mehta's decision represents a major victory for the Department of Justice, which accused Google of illegally monopolizing the online search market. It's not yet clear what specifically this will mean for the future of Google's business, as this initial filing is only about Google's liability not about remedies. Oh man, so frustrating. The decision is the first in a wave of tech monopoly cases brought by the U.S. government in recent years, while 2 decades passed between the Department of Justice's antitrust lawsuits against Microsoft and its next anti-monopoly case against Google, filed in 2020. Several more such cases have quickly followed. Amazon, Apple, and Meta all now face their own monopolization lawsuits from the U.S. government, and Google will go to trial against the DOJ a second time this fall over a separate challenge of its advertising technology business. That makes Meta's decision in this case, Amit Meta, not Meta the corporation, Judge Amit Meta's decision in this case, even more consequential for how other judges may consider how to apply century-old antitrust laws to modern digital markets. Meta oversaw a 10-week trial in the Google search case last fall, which culminated in 2 days of closing arguments in early May. The trial, which took place in D.C. District Court, convened many big players in Silicon Valley, including Google CEO Sundar Pichai, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella, and Apple executive Eddie Q. The DOJ argued that Google illegally monopolized the general search advertising market by effectively cutting off key distribution channels for rivals through exclusionary contracts. For example, Google has deals with browser makers like Mozilla, scumbags, and phone manufacturers like Apple and Samsung, scumbags, to make their search engine the default on their products. Google also makes default status for some of its apps a condition of access to the Play Store for phone makers using its Android operating system. So this is huge. Google's being busted for monopoly. This is major, major news. Everybody's all over it. Let's hop over to Chris Pavlovski, the Rumble founder and CEO. Chris Pavlovski at Chris Pavlovski on X. Today's decision confirms what everybody knows. Google is a monopolist, a monopolizer, so to speak. Rumble has been making this argument for years and are multiple antitrust lawsuits against Google, both currently ongoing. That's right. They're suing Google right now for manipulating search results because they exclude Rumble videos from their search results, giving YouTube, their own platform, a de facto monopoly on Google. So I can't wait personally to see what happens with the Rumble lawsuit. It could end up freeing YouTube and breaking them free from the tyrannical grips of Google once and for all, which would be amazing. Imagine if YouTube got freed after being captured for so long. He posted, where is it? There was another video that he had posted prior, leading up to all this. Breaking news. Our legal team has unearthed a video of Google's former VP of search products, Marissa Mayer, laughing to Google recruits about preferencing Google-owned products in Google search, giving them a monopolistic advantage in search results. This will be Exhibit 1 in our self-preferencing antitrust lawsuit against Google. Take a look at this.
So the question was, on our stock quotes, when you type in different tickers, you see little charts appear on the top of the page. And we used to have Yahoo first, and now Google is first. And I think the answer was that, I mean, if I recall history correctly, we didn't actually have Google Finance until about a year ago. So up until then, we were actually ordering the links based on various published metrics like ComScore and Media Metrics. So we had the 5 top finance sites in their order of popularity listed there. So when we rolled out Google Finance, we did put the Google link first. So seems only fair, right? We do all the work for the search page and all these other things. So we do put it first. And that's actually been a policy then. Because of finance, we implemented in other places. So for Google Maps, again, it's the first link, and so on and so forth. And then after that, it's ranked usually by popularity.
Yeah, and YouTube as well. Super messed up. Let's jump through a flurry of people commenting about this. Mario Nafal, breaking, Google declared a monopolist guilty of antitrust violations. Federal court ruled that Google, dominant player in the search engine market, violated Section 2 of the Sherman Act by maintaining its monopoly through exclusive distribution agreements. The verdict follows a thorough examination of evidence, including millions of documents and testimony from top tech executives. The court found that Google unfairly leveraged its dominance by securing default placements on mobile and desktop devices, preventing competitors like Bing and DuckDuckGo from gaining a foothold. These agreements, worth billions annually, ensured Google's search engine remained the default choice for users, stifling competition and innovation. The court noted that Google's actions resulted in a supra-competitive pricing for general search text ads, enriching the company at the expense of advertisers and consumers. However, the court also found that Google did not hold monopoly power in search advertising and dismissed claims regarding the company's advertising platform, SA360. Source: Department of Justice. New York Times also wrote about it. Breaking: Google acted illegally to maintain a monopoly in online search. A federal judge ruled on Monday, a decision that strikes at the power of big tech companies and that may fundamentally alter the way they do business, linking to their own article about it. Laura Loomer posting, Google loses massive antitrust lawsuit over its search dominance. Quote, Google has violated U.S. antitrust law with its search business. A federal judge ruled Monday. It should just be frozen immediately. Google should just be shut down until they figure out how to handle this and how to remedy it. This is nuts. Everybody knows that this has been a problem forever, so at least it's finally being addressed. Simon Atiba also reporting on it. Breaking: massive federal judge rules Google is an illegal monopoly. Note, the tech giant was found to have violated antitrust laws by exploiting its dominant position to compel consumers to use its search engine using all kinds of software tricks. Note, the landmark case was initiated by the Trump DOJ and continued under the Biden administration. Let's see, where's the next one? Here we go. Reed Southern also posting, holy shit, Google lost the antitrust case over their search engine practices. They're officially a monopoly. Really good news. Here's the meme I was talking about earlier, which I thought was really funny. Mojo Resin posted it at Mojo Resin on X. Just in, Google loses antitrust case, judged an illegal monopoly. Google executive responds by force choking judge to death. I am altering the search results. Pray I do not alter them any further. Like that scene where Lando Calrissian says, hey man, that's not part of the deal. I have altered the deal. Oh man, this is crazy. We got a post from the Attorney General in Tennessee about it as well. At AG Tennessee. Tennessee wins big in our bipartisan lawsuit against Google. Today, a court ruled that Google violated federal antitrust law. The case was brought to the DOJ and the case was brought by the DOJ and a coalition of states, like 38 states or something, led by AG Tennessee and Colorado. Read AG Scrimeti's statement on this win below. Quote, I am proud my office was part of the trial team that successfully proved Google is an illegal monopolist. We will continue to work alongside our AG partners and the DOJ Antitrust Division to protect consumers from Google's anti-competitive conduct. Big as life. Thank you so much for the massive Rumble rant. Holy balls. Really, I appreciate you, brother. Let me bring the chat up on screen over here. Big money bomb dropped in the Rumble rants. Big as life. Money for the development of the Loki swimsuit calendar and bird treats and stuff. Thanks so much. We're going to be sending Loki to boot camp, and while she's away, we'll process all of the photos to make the swimsuit calendar. There she is. That's her idol who already learned how to fire machine guns. So we're going to get Loki over there in in boot camp while we work on the swimsuit calendar. Big as life. I salute you, sir. Thank you so much for supporting the broadcast, believing in me, and believing in Common Censored. I look forward to tallying up everything and giving you your proper rank in the Info Infantry. If you guys want to be part of the Info Infantry, send us a screenshot that you've shared the broadcast. Just send one, and that'll give you a rank. And then from there, every 15 shares will give you a rank advancement. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. Natron, yep. Thanks, Big. Appreciate you guys. Bigly, big ass life. We appreciate you, bigly. Thanks so much for supporting the show. Let's see. What do we have next? Post from Yahoo Finance about it as well with a news clip. Yahoo Finance at Yahoo Finance. Thanks again, Biggs. Appreciate you so much, man. A Washington, D.C. judge has ruled that Google violated antitrust laws in online search, claiming that Google is a monopolist. The Abundance Institute head of AI policy, Neil Chilson, discusses alongside legal reporter Alexis K. Weed. Weed. Let's check out this clip.
Right. So just a huge decision. I'm still parsing through it, so bear with me here. What the judge has found, and this is the judge in the district court in D.C., Judge Amit Mehta, he says that Google is a monopolist and that it acted to maintain its monopoly. That's a violation of Section 2 of the Sherman Act. And what the judge held is that there is a relevant market here. The place where he's saying Google is a monopolist, one, general search, right? When we go to google.com and we type in that field in general search. The other is general search text advertising. So Google's distribution agreements, that's what's underlying this case. Google enters into distribution agreements that really make Google's search platforms the default on mobile phones, on browsers, on places that touch the internet. So that's the foundation of this case. That's the trouble that the judge has with these exclusive agreements here. The judge said that Google also charges supra-competitive prices for its general search text ads. And also, there's part of this decision that does, though, favor Google, and that is in search advertising. The judge said that Google lacks a monopoly in that space, and therefore the inquiry stops there. They go no further. So the judge says they're not liable, Google not liable as an anti-competitive violator for what it would be targeting there as its SA360 product. The judge also said that there's no product market for general search advertising. But look, this is 237 billion of Google's 307 billion in total revenue for 2023 is advertising. Search advertising is 175 billion of that. So
right,
gonna have to figure out. It's a huge deal. We're gonna have to parse out
what we're trying to say.
Which sections of their revenue pertain to this holding here.
All right, I want to take it to Neil now because Neil, Google's
Do it
argument
up,
has
Threeper.
been, we have these agreements because we're the best search engine.
We'll be here.
And I'm just curious why you don't think that the judge found that argument compelling.
Well, so the judge, I think, here focused very much on whether or not a lot of these cases are lost in the sort of market definition. And once that was found, Google does have a significant market share. And the judge parsed out the fact that Google is a monopolist in this market and then said, the problem here is maintaining that monopoly, not earning that monopoly. So being the best is how you might earn a monopoly, but then if you maintain it using anti-competitive conduct, that's what they were focused on here. And so the judge said that these contracts maintain that monopoly in a way that violates Section 2 of the Sherman Act.
And so, Neil, what are possible remedies here then?
It's a great question, actually. I think the court will have to look at that next. And divestment would be extremely severe here, and I don't think that seems like unlikely. But probably it's more in the form of invalidating these distribution agreements and saying that Google can no longer pursue those types of things, which is an interesting problem because under these agreements, Google sometimes pays significant amounts of money to these platforms for a product that consumers might switch and choose as their default anyways. And so if Google is the best, a lot of those revenue streams could disappear to some of these, say, browser manufacturers or Android platform creators that they won't easily be able to replace through other streams of income.
And Neil, I want to ask you about the changes that have happened in the past years since this case has been pending. Now we have AI-assisted search that is really changing the landscape of search. What do you think that will imply if we ever do get to a point where we are talking about remedies, barring appeals in all of this case? How does that change the possible fix here?
I don't know if it changes the fix exactly, but if the judge takes that into context, we're at a time where general search, the market that's at most issue here, is under significant threat, not just from AI, but also from specialized search. So the most money-producing parts of general search are those where people are searching for products, and fewer people are using Google to do that now. Many people start their search for products on Amazon.com, for example, and so I think the court will have to take that into context. The fact that general search is not quite the sole destination for the internet search user as it used to be in the past. And the new competitors from AI, I think, are putting even more pressure on this business model. And so the findings here are a little bit ironic that they're about a technology that is under significant pressure, not within the market, but from outside of the market in which it competes.
Crazy, crazy stuff. And before this Google antitrust news even broke, I had seen this posted by Sudden and Unexpected at Too Baffled. Russia to block Google, iOS, and Android. Alexei Didenko, a member of the Russian State Duma, has said that Google, including its Android operating system and Apple's iOS, will soon be blocked in Russia. Didenko advised the public not to cling to services like YouTube, stating, quote, "Soon Google will be blocked along with Google Android. iOS will also be blocked, and this will not be our initiative." Very interesting. Bold move. Said by the Gorn, says bold move. Yeah, big move, big move. If Russia could find an alternative, Kim Kardashian says, I would prefer to use that. I don't even like Putin, but it is at least better than Zionists like Zelensky, Macron, Biden, and Starmer. Wow. So all kinds of crazy developments going on. I saw this video from last summer popped up on my feed and X and figured it would share it. We love Trump, so don't get me wrong, but this video is a little bit concerning. Orthodox Canonist posted this. Why did Trump meet with Klaus Schwab? And aside from meeting him, why is he praising him here? Look at
Well,
this.
we've loved it. We think it's a great country, a beautiful country, and we have had a tremendous success.
Yeah, great success.
And this gentleman, as you know, he's done a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One more question. This gentleman, as you know, he's done a great job, Trump, talking about Klaus Schwab. A little bit concerning. Let me know if you guys have any alternate information about that whole situation. Let's jump over to our next topic, the massive market crashes that are going on right now. Alex Jones posting this, crash coming, brought to you by BlackRock. Reposting Radar at Radar Hits. Just in, Warren Buffett sells 50% of his Apple holdings. Berkshire Hathaway holds a record $277 billion in cash now. So that's a little bit disturbing. What's going on with that? Radar said Warren Buffett now holds $277 billion in cash and has been selling stocks like never before, including Apple. He's getting ready for a crash. To which Alex quote tweets and says, yes, he is. Jones posted a video about it as well. Breaking, world imploding into globalist orchestrated crisis. Buffett dumps 55% of Apple stock as Israeli/Iranian war goes into gear. And civil war strikes England. So much is happening. It's insane. It's insane.
By the time the public figures out how much trouble they're in with the jobless numbers pouring out and the inflation spiraling out of control, what is the public going to do when they finally figure all this out? Well, England's a few years ahead of us. So Scotland, so's Ireland. They're rioting. They're tired of being raped and murdered and killed. 10, 20 to 1 Islamic crime
in a bit
compared to anybody. Because the Muslims know, and then all the average woman has like 8 kids, their sons all get on welfare, and they just walk around all arrogant with a bunch of subservient Brits, not knowing that the British have a long fuse. But once you burn it down, it's a big explosion. And the globalists think they're going to get all this power and control out of stirring this up, and people that are out there rioting are walking into a trap, and I don't agree with what they're doing, but the point is, this is where we are. This is the angrier world that Klaus Schwab has set up for everybody.
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now.
Riders on the storm.
Chaos in the UK.
So the UK is in a anti-UK, anti-Christian
Holy balls,
civil
Donna, you got a
war.
link?
Everywhere the Muslims move, in every case, they act real friendly until their numbers get to 10, 20%, then they attack. Then they drive you out of the towns and cities, they take full control of them, then they keep expanding until your country falls to them, whether you're Constantinople 600 years ago, or whether you are, Spain 1,000 years ago, and it took the Spanish
That's right, Omega.
500, 600 years to kick the Muslims out.
Thanks, Donna.
And so if you look at a map of the world where Islam's in control, they don't let you have your own religion. They don't let you have any freedom. They totally control you except in a few little pockets. So that's where the UK is right now. And Tommy Robinson is coming up at the bottom of the hour. Then we've got Iran after the leader of Hamas was killed, saying they're getting ready to attack Israel imminently and all these aircraft carriers and U.S. ships over there. Well, if you're going to go blow the Muslims up, which I don't think they should do, let them live in their own countries in peace. Just don't let them come here and take everything over. You might not want to bring millions of them into your country at the same time. So
Yeah, for sure. So we have additional breaking news about the market situation. Robinhood has halted 24-hour trading due to huge market volatility, suspended all 24-hour trades until further notice. Screenshot from the Robinhood app. So that's kind of unnerving, combined with multiple brokerages, including Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Vanguard, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, UPS, CenturyLink, and Interactive Brokers are currently down, reporting errors amid market crashes. I don't know if there's any updates, if any of these are back online, but the big one is potentially coming, guys. The big one is potentially coming. Johnny Midnight at its_the_DR posted this one from Breitbart. Wall Street's fear index, the VIX, surges to highest level since the 2020 pandemic crash. So good news for sure. Not, it's getting real, guys. It's getting real. You might want to have cash on hand. You might want to have precious metals, all kinds of supplies, food, water, ammo, right, Ed? Trump Girl on Fire at Trump Girl on Fire posted this one. Biden's economics advisor leaving the White House as markets tumble. This from the Daily Wire. Daniel Chaitlin wrote this one. As U.S. markets took a nosedive, news broke Monday morning that senior economics advisor Gene Sperling was leaving the White House. Sources told AP that Sperling was transitioning to Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential campaign after President Joe Biden ended his re-election bid and Harris clinched the Democrat Party's nomination, while the report couched Sperling's move as one to, quote, challenge former President Donald Trump on policy issues. Many on social media noted the timing. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ indexes all dropping in the morning hours amid what the Wall Street Journal called, quote, a global sell-off. Heck of a day for Biden economic advisor Gene Sperling to leave, the Daily Mail senior political reporter Charlie Spearing said in a post on X. Reminder, SS Kamalanomics is a sinking ship, quipped conservative commentator Steve Guest. Quote, great timing, bud, said Students for Trump co-chair Ryan Fournier, who also included a face-palming emoji. Like rats fleeing a sinking ship, said social media influencer Rogan O'Handley, better known as DC Drano. Former ESPN anchor Sage Steele responded to the news by simply posting an emoji showing a flushed face, evoking concern. Biden's top advisor, Gene Sperling, announced today that he's leaving the White House to work on Kamala's campaign because he did such a great job that we should definitely bring him in the next campaign. Tim Young reported this. So if you like how shitty the economy is now, you're definitely getting another 4 years of it if she gets elected. White House released a statement from President Creepy Sleepy Joe that praised Sperling for his work in the administration. Quote, under Gene's leadership, the American Rescue Plan has delivered economic relief to cities and countries across the counties across the country, protected millions of union pensions, and made the largest ever federal investment in public safety, and kept thousands of small businesses afloat. Thousands of small businesses afloat? You mean after the lockdowns that killed permanently hundreds of thousands of small businesses? The Republican National Committee's research account on X shared a video showing Kamala delivering remarks along with hashtag Kamala crash. Bidenomics. Ha 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 ha. That is called Bidenomics, and we're very proud of Bidenomics. Let's watch the video.
All that, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else, that is called Bidenomics.
These people are so stupid.
That is called Bidenomics, and we are very proud of Bidenomics.
You're very proud of just nosediving markets. These people are criminally insane. Jones also posted this interview with Kirk Elliott, economist, warns Warren Buffett deliberately triggered stock market crash, major collapse imminent. Let's check out some of this interview. Highly recommend it. Watching the entire interview in full when you have a chance. Kirk Elliott had predicted the all kinds of stuff that's been going on this year, regional banks going down and everything. Let's listen to what he's saying now.
So when you look at what Warren Buffett did, Alex, it's like, so you look at the last 14 days, he dumped $3.8 billion worth of Bank of America. And then on Friday, he dumps half of his Apple position. It's like over $50 billion worth of Apple. So what is Warren Buffett doing? Not what he's saying. What is he doing by his actions? He doesn't believe that the markets are going to do well. I mean, you call
like playing hockey. Don't look at the puck. If you're playing defense, look at the shoulders of the person you're defending against. The shoulders will tell what direction they're going. The puck is secondary. Look at what Warren Buffett is doing, not what he's saying, not the puck that he's dangling out in front of you. Look at what direction his shoulders are pointing.
He's the Oracle of Omaha, right? It's like he's not some kind of a soothsayer. He's not a prophet, right? But he sees what's coming, probably because he knows. I mean, when you're that much of a billionaire, like one of the
he just pulled 240 plus billion out in the last week from the stock market. He's not predicting it; he's causing it.
Yeah, exactly. So when you're that big, every action that you do has a consequence because people are listening, right? So he's now sitting on $277 billion worth of cash. I mean, this is a massive amount of cash that he's sitting on, right? So why? If you're that smart and you think that the markets are going to go up, then you hold on to the stuff. But if you think that they're going to come down, either because the markets are so bad or some external force, or because you're going to do something that would cause it to come down, well, then you would get out because you want to get out of Dodge. So when you look at the rationale of Warren Buffett, he's a value investor, meaning he likes to buy companies at a discount. So by his own actions now, because he's so big or some external force, the markets are coming down. We're at the end of an age. We're at the end of an age of fiat-based money. Central banks, now they've been exposed, right? Truth always casts out the darkness. And it's basic. The whole global monetary system is based on debt. Well, we see what happens with.
And when he says that, he means it literally. The dollar, for instance, used to be a value-backed currency. For every $20, you could go to the bank at any time and trade it in for an ounce of gold. Now trading like what, around $3,000, something like that. Gator, if you're out there, post the precious metals prices for the day, or anybody in chat if you want. But they transitioned the dollar into not being a value-backed asset, being a debt-backed currency, which, in my opinion, violates the laws of the definition of what money is actually supposed to be. Every dollar that exists is printed and represents a debt to the Federal Reserve, a debt. So the whole economy is based on debt. It's complete and total madness, complete madness. 3PO, right?
This is madness.
Yeah, thanks. Exactly. Let's continue.
Debt, what just happened in Japan. They have so much debt when they raise interest rates. Now nobody can afford to make their payments. Banks are failing. That will spread over here. So have faith, have courage, call us. And literally, the only way that you can know the solution, how good it is if you understand how bad the world is becoming. We don't have to sensationalize anything, Alex. It's bad. I mean, it's really bad, and they're trying to get their way, but God gives us wisdom. He gives us understanding. He gives us courage and boldness and creativity always, 100% of the time, to start navigating through this. What's the one thing that you have to do, right? When God can do anything, you have to act.
While other networks lie to you.
Trump was shot on the 13th of July. I went on air and I said they're going to trigger global civil unrest, stock market crashes, a new virus, expanded war. Look, it's all there because I know the enemy playbook, and the globalists are losing power all over the world, and their global bubble is coming to an end, and they're behind schedule getting their central bank digital currencies in and their ESG social credit scores. And so they need crises. And in their own playbooks that are public, they say they will use these crises. So studying them for 40 years, on air for 30, I've got their number. I don't know exactly what card they're going to play, but I know what cards they've got in their hand.
What cards I've got in the deck. Unique prepping. Sterling Saturday stream. We got 300 views, 86 likes, and 79 watch hours. Congrats, brother. Glad to hear it. That was fun. Hope you had a fun stream. Had a lot of great guests on there hanging out with you. Congratulations to Unique Prepping for hitting 1,500 subs. We love the Z-Man. Glad to see the channel blowing up, brother. And here's to making sure it continues. Everybody out there, head on over to Unique Prepping on YouTube and subscribe to Zach and go on some unique adventures with him. Check out all of his great content over there. Thanks, Z-Man, for supporting the show, and glad you had a fun time on Saturday, brother.
And it's pretty easy to know what they're going to play and when they're going to play it. So I've been harping on this. Here's a few clips over the last 3 weeks where I called it all. Here it is. And do you think the system's going to back down now? No. Power outages, cyber attacks, expanded war, China invading Taiwan, stock market crash. It's all on the table, and the deep state's behind it. I'll be covering it live, coming up on X at Real Alex Jones. Trump will get 70% of voters. And that's why he's in even greater danger now. And I just keep harping on the scenarios of how they would do it and how they would change the subject right after they did it, with just a huge war expansion, a stock market crash, a cyber attack that knocks half the country's power off. Those are things that are not possibilities now. It is a probability. It's very easy to kill people, especially when you run their security. Oh, they're definitely, Trump has said like 5 times, and they go, oh, Trump wants a crash. He goes, no, the crash is looming. I hope it happens before I get elected because he could turn it around. But if he knows how the public's mind works, he gets it, they crash it completely, announce it's crashed, he'll have real trouble fixing it. He'll be Herbert Hoover. If they know we're not going to buy it, they won't do it. They'll probably wait till Trump gets in. This, I think, is the most probable thing. And they're going to deep six the stock market and the dollar and blame Trump, and he's Herbert Hoover 2.0. And Trump has said that, and I agree with it. He didn't say he hopes there's a crash. He says, I wish we didn't have this economic problem, but if there is a crash, I want it to happen now so I don't get the blame, I can fix it. But if they do it, not while he's president-elect, but once he's in January next year. And so there I am working different scenarios. This could clearly be, and I think it is, Buffett cashing out, the big boys protecting themselves. Then they do a plunge protection team out of the president's office on market stability.
President's Working Group on Financial Markets, aka the Plunge Protection Team, they've been doing speculation with precious metals for decades at this point to artificially suppress the price of metals by speculating so much with paper in the markets that it makes it seem like there's a larger supply of metals on hand than there actually are. So the more that they can suppress precious metals, the more they can hide the decline of the economy. And Warren Buffett is like a wind vane for a lot of people. So people see him bailing out. Other people are going to start to bail out. It's entirely possible that, as Kirk Elliott postulates in this video, it's being done on purpose to usher in the next phase of the global consolidation of power, using economic collapse as a vehicle to attain centralization of power and domination over the population. So, man, have your helmets and everything ready, because things are about to get real crazy. Mike Adams at Health Ranger, naturalnews.com, posted this. If you think stocks are cratering now, just wait until Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, sending energy prices skyrocketing globally. Food prices will explode. Businesses will be hit by mass bankruptcies. Again, Russia will receive a windfall of energy profits. Most of Western Europe will be plunged into an economic dark age, and trillions of dollars in global assets will evaporate as global deleveraging runs its course. The biggest bubble ever, just waiting to explode. Inflating bubbles so they can get popped by a pin, destroying all profit within, then monopolizing oligarchists start the process again. That's what I wrote in Criminal Agenda, one of my songs back in the day, describing the process of inflating bubbles, popping them, consolidating wealth and power and centralizing it, and then they do the same thing over and over, and it just, every time they do it, it centralizes control over the markets, destroys businesses. Mike Adams continuing, despite all this, nearly every U.S. lawmaker continues to applaud war criminal Netanyahu, who's trying to start a regional war with Iran and Lebanon and Syria, and then drag the U.S. into the conflict. Our Western world is run by insane, sociopathic, pathological lunatics. Prepare accordingly. Gold, in other words. Plus shoring up necessary supplies like food, medicine, emergency comms, cleaning supplies, everything. Time is now to stockpile things that you might need in a collapse scenario. Matt Wallace posted this screenshot at MattWallace888 saying, yep, we're fucked. Posting the Lockheed Martin Corporation stock just going vertical. Skyrocketing from $468 a share up to $560, and who knows where it's at now. This was a few hours ago. This is indicating that we are on the edge of world war. That chart right there indicates that shit is about to hit the fan. Holy balls. This is crazy. This coming on the heels of news posted by George Papadopoulos and others over here, but I love that last name, Papadopoulos. Just in, Russian Il-76 aircraft known for transporting heavy weapons has landed in Tehran, Iran. The time is near. This is one of these planes. This is showing the flight path of one of these planes landing in Tehran. Now there's been updates. This one posted by Jackson Hinkle, who's kind of on our side, but is also a Stalinist. So interesting position that Jackson Hinkle has over here. But breaking, there is a, quote, nonstop flow of Russian military transport planes landing in Iran. Here we go, he posts, as shit is just about to pop off. Oh man, get ready for it, guys. Get ready for it. Food, water, ammo. Chuck Calesto posting this. Just in, Iran posts video warning the world of imminent attack on Israel. Let's check this out. Yay. I'm not sure where this other post is that's related to this, but I had heard that there were explosions. That's the next post I have in line here. Let me grab it. Blasts have been heard in central Iran. Not sure exactly what the deal is with it yet. Chris Lil Bookstore, Chris Klein at Chris Little Bookstore, says it's really going to escalate. Iran funded by Harris and Biden. Spectator Index just in. Blasts have been heard in central Iran. Cause not yet known. Joey Franco saying World War III has begun, and correcting him, Biden/Harris equals Obama. So shit is popping off as we speak, and inevitably this is all going to lead to unfathomable horrors. Crazy B sent me this video talking about the impending global famine, which we seem to be heading directly into. Damn it, I ended a sentence in a preposition again. Sorry about that, guys. I've got to work on that grammar.
You are a federal agent. You represent the United States government. Never end a sentence with a preposition.
I'm sorry, Beavis and Butthead guy. I'm sorry. All right, let's check out a couple minutes of this movie, this documentary, and link will be in the description if you guys want to watch it in full later. Let's check out some of this.
And we will make America great again.
What does war look like from a soldier's point of view?
tens of millions of YouTube viewers now know thanks to a video taken in Afghanistan that has gone viral.
The soldier crying out over and over to his platoon, "I'm hit." He intentionally took on fire to try to draw the fire away from his mates. And now we know who he is. Ted Daniels, that's his name.
Teddy Daniels.
The man, Teddy Daniels.
I'm Teddy Daniels, the soldier who took 4 bullets from that AK-47. And I believe that one of the reasons God let me survive that gunfight was to deliver this emergency broadcast to you right now. Do not click away from it.
What's going
Super
on here?
important
The story gets
information,
weirder.
guys.
Food processing plants all over the country seem to be catching fire. This happen, of course, but this is a lot of industrial accidents at food processing facilities at the same time the president's warning us about food shortages. They're getting hit by planes and catching fire. What is going on here exactly?
On February 3rd, a massive fire ripped through Wisconsin River Meats in Mouston. That same exact day, another fire ravaged Percy Farm in Stowe, Vermont, killing hundreds of cows. About a week later, the Bonanza Meat Company in El Paso, Texas, burst into flames.
This is crazy. You guys remember all these places bursting into flames? We had planes crashing on top of food processing facilities, all kinds of stuff. Again, just big shout out to Big As Life over on Rumble, dropping $100 Rumble rant, biggest single donation I think we've received so far. Big As Life, thank you so much for supporting the show, believing in me and in Common Censored. Can't thank you enough. Really appreciate you guys keeping the show alive. Big As Life, shout out to you, brother. Thank you so much.
And that very same day, the Shearer food plant in Hermiston got burnt to the ground. Just a few hours later, in Claypool, Indiana, a raging fire broke out at the largest soybean processing plant in the country. In the months prior to those incidents, there had been 93 other instances of food processing plants catching fire. Our administration and mainstream media has stated that all these fires must be a coincidence and are not a threat to our food supply. However, the cost of food in the U.S. has not only spiked tremendously over the last year, it's actually at an all-time high as we speak. Hi, I'm Teddy Daniels. I'm a father, combat veteran, a citizen journalist, and a private investigator who says it like it is and isn't afraid to ask the questions that mainstream media tries to cut fires. And why does the cost of our food continue to skyrocket? Those exact questions are what triggered an initial investigation by me and my team. As we begin to dig, searching for a potential culprit, we started finding clip after clip just like this.
Chinese nationals have begun buying up tens of thousands of acres of farmland.
You are seeing the Chinese buy up America.
Thanks again to Crazy B for sending this to me. This is chock full of insanely important information. I'm going to post a link in chat right now. Share it everywhere so people know that it's time to make sure you're stocked up on storable foods, etc. Because this is going to get real, guys. It's going to get real. And you don't want to have to go to the FEMA centers for food. You want to be able to sustain yourself.
They are waging an economic war on the United States.
America cannot allow China to control our food supply.
I was stunned. Could the Chinese Communist Party be connected to our food processor fires? And why were the Chinese buying up so many of our farms? That's when our investigation kicked into overdrive. Once again, I'm Teddy Daniels, and over the course of this shortage in our nation's history, a food shortage that will trigger a deadly domino effect of mass panic, bloody brawls in bread lines, a full government shutdown, and ultimately starve America into submission. Then I'm going to peel back the curtain and show you rock-solid evidence that proves that we are now officially past the point of no return. And that means that this final famine is no longer a matter of if, but when. I will also reveal why right-wing conservatives, who are already under heavy attack in this country, are being specifically targeted and will be among this final famine's first victims. Because it's my belief that we have a Chinese spy with direct ties to Joe Biden operating inside our government as we speak, sabotaging any efforts to stop this famine. And despite great personal risk to myself,
I think they're working together, Natron.
In this report. So keep watching. Because more critically, I will show you what my team and many experts now believe is the only thing you can do to keep your family safe and well fed once this catastrophe strikes.
Boom. Check out this documentary when you guys have a sec. I just posted it over in the Rumble chat. I think it's time to terminate the YouTube broadcast and go Rumble and exclusive. So here we go. Boom. Just posted the link to the Rumble broadcast over on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, come on over to Alt Tech where the water is warm and we can speak freely. Sorry to have to ditch you guys, but we're trying to drag people over to Alt Tech because Google is a monopolist and assho. So thank you guys for joining us. But come on over to Rumble so we can all continue the broadcast together. If you can't make it, sorry to have to ditch you, but we'll be back tomorrow on the flip side. Until then, let's get ready to rumble!